Check the forecast, broadcast. It's the podcast, the podcast. Whoever started right now ain't got a clue. They saying how you make it in this truth without a bishop or a crew. Cause I'm the bishop and the Q. I put the Jew up in the juice. He put the loose up on my noose and show me what I need to do. Said make the floor before the roof. Cause the rain is just a stain. And it rains on the blameless and the blame. And that would never change. Let me explain. It mean I got great.
Ride for it, and the truth, and I'm ready to ride for it, die for it, die for it. The truth, and I'm ready to die for it, ride for it, and the truth, and I'm ready to ride for it, die for it, and the truth, and I'm ready to die for it. And the truth, and I'm ready to ride for it. I wanna know how many gon' die for it. Lay on their life on the front line for it. I don't think many of y'all got the mind for it. It's critical for individuals to see the subliminals through spiritual visuals. Know how to break that science down to a mineral. Know how to tilt that iron without the mind of a criminal. Head talking cheap, they think you sleep like a ring lock till we put them in the deep sleep with a slingshot. Nah, ain't nothing that the lying tongue can tell me, cause I stay awoke like my house on Elm Street. If things I come revolution, we ain't feeling them, cause we raising up young soldiers like Gideon. The government don't like me, probably wanna snipe me, but I keep my head up like a torch trying to sightsee. And I got the law in order like iced tea. Camps wanna recruit me, but I didn't drink the roofie. Took jabs at me, but still couldn't bruise me. Still got the truth kicking harder than Bruce Lee. Ride for it, ride for it. And the truth, and I'm ready to ride for it. Die for it, die for it. And the truth, and I'm ready to die for it. Ride for it, ride for it. And the truth, and I'm ready to ride for it. Die for it, die for it. And the truth, and I'm ready to die for it.
They always talking, that's what they do, of course. Sword so sharp, it'll cut your sentence short. We ready to die, it's all about the we. That's why when we do ride, it's with the Y and not the I. Wow, my real eyes blow the show far. We putting in work like we ain't going back, they came so far. It gives deep in this water, grab the soul, no. War music for my true soldiers. Got a one-track mind between they two shoulders. When lions start to speak, the sheep will start to roam. You off if you don't put the Z-I before the own. We the original Jews, y'all not even clones. We the original Jews, y'all not even clones. We don't call it Trinity, leave that alone. I'm about them 3-2, but you not in the zone. This word over here going, and you can't stop it, man. Check your watch, man. Holy shots fired. Now watch them drop, man.
Shalom, shalom, bro. Can you hear me?
Shalom, shalom, Marquis. How you feeling?
I'm trying. Hey, man, listen, ripping and running. Things ain't working right. Things ain't what they supposed to, but we're going to get here. We're going to get it done. Pray everything well with you, man.
Everything's blessed, man. Everything's blessed.
All praises, all praises. So, I just started back up doing guests again. And this show, I wanted to highlight you. And there's some brothers I wanted to come on later to talk more about Africa. But, being in this community as long as we have, man, I think, a lot of things change. And, I talk about it a lot, but to get a different perspective, how much changed for the worse. Really was the Most High when he put the spirit out. It was us who stood in the front line, did a lot of grinding. I can't even find my mic. Don't say my microphone is crazy. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna start off with. I want you to introduce yourself and your camp or where you're from, and we can start like that.
Yeah, I'm outside right now.
Okay.
We Pittsburgh, PA, and right now I'm at the we gather with the congregation. Actually, I just stepped outside because it's loud out in there. We getting ready for this Harambe tomorrow. It's like a quote unquote African every year here in the city. So this year the congregation got a booth and we're gonna be selling food, for the congregation and stuff like that. So a little booth set up for tomorrow. We just prepping, getting that together though. But yeah, man, we based in Pittsburgh, man. Just pushing for the kingdom every day, man. That's just the purpose and goal, man. The mission statement.
Indeed. So, all right. So the first question is, hold on, let me see. I got some feedback. Hold on. Yeah, a little feedback. think this on my end. I got so much stuff going on. I don't know what's doing what. All right. All right. So the first question is, I gotta ask you: you still doing music, and how that's looking for you right now?
Actually, I took a long hiatus on music.
Extremely.
Yeah, right. It was just like when I first came in the truth, I did music because that was how I felt I could throw my brick in. You
Right.
know, I knew I wasn't knowledgeable enough to be teaching nobody, and I ain't even want to because I still was just too new to be thinking I could teach. You know, 3, 4 years, 5 years went by, and I started picking up more responsibilities in this truth. And it's like the more responsibilities that I picked up in the truth, the more I started kind of putting music to the back burner. And it wasn't until this past December, man, I went down to Y'all's Healing Ministry. Shout out to Y'all's Healing Ministry in Kentucky. I went down. We all went down there, packed up the fellowship with them, and then they brought some things forth that was like, your music was impactful. So it made me realize that not only was I neglecting the music, but neglecting the music was actually neglecting the ministry purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being, I mean, it's almost like falling into sin because you didn't, you made a covenant to do this part of the ministry and then you fell off of it. So now you're in error, and I was in error for that. So that's something I had to recognize and something that I had to pick back up as in recent. I definitely have some music coming out. There's a couple songs I did with brother Tony Soul that's on YouTube right now, but I definitely have some music coming out before the end of the summer for sure.
Oh, praises, man. And that's what I want to talk about too. Just that dynamic of having. I gotta find where this feedback is coming from. I think it's really. Do you hear the feedback?
I don't know whether it's my mic. I try to mute when I ain't talking, but I
Oh
don't
no,
hear
you
any
good.
feedback.
I think it's something on my end. Okay. Well, now I don't hear. But anyway, so yeah, with that dynamic of having these gifts we got, right? And understanding, okay, now I'm gonna use my works for good. I think a lot of brothers and sisters have gifts all over the earth, and a lot of them use them for selfish gain or just pure unrighteousness. And us having them same gifts and looking at the opposition, right? We see what's corrupting the world and what the tools they are using. We have those same tools. We just don't use them. So, like you saying, it's that feeling of, man, okay, how can I say I'm a servant and not use my God given ability? As you get older in the truth and you learn more, you can add more to the responsibility. But our thing that's given to us initially, we have to use that to continue to put forth our best effort in showing the earth what righteousness can look like and should look like. So I get exactly what you're saying, and with that, I want to ask you this question. Without stepping on anybody toes or anything, but with the community, do you think we highlight people in their gifts, or is it a more organized effort to try to just put a face up where, okay, this is how we should be, regardless of who you are or who you think you are. This is how we should be, not knowing if it's right or wrong. Because when we learn from our elders and our teachers, we just take it and we say, okay, we're gonna do that. But should it be a more concentrated effort to let people be who they are naturally and let them fall into their workshop, or should we place brothers and sisters in their workshop? And if whatever side you agree on, I want to know why you agree that way.
Well, man, we was doing this truth music thing in like 2011, 2012,
Right,
2013. And around that time, it was starkly different. First of all, there wasn't nearly as many truth music artists back then.
Right.
But you know, seeing how it was back then, I think it was more so where, you know, everybody was like more supportive, whether you was kind of nice or not, you still
Right.
had some type of support. But
Right.
now I think it's to the point now to where you have to be talented in truth music.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain level of talent to be recognized in this community as a truth music artist. Like, you know, when you see some of the artists that's popular now in truth music, they're all talented. You know, and not no slight to nobody that's not, you know,
Right.
on the forefront or anything, but it's just a stark difference from when we started to where we're at, and who has more of a shine on them and who don't is a more reflective of, you know, the music, the actual music. Now back then you could get more support and not even be really one of the nicest per se,
Right. You can
honestly,
be
just to keep it a
garbage,
buck.
and you can be garbage, and they'll show mad love. Yeah.
So I definitely would have to say, right now I would have to say it's more of the talent level, you know, that we put towards the ministry that has to shine out.
Right. Yeah. So and understanding that, and my journey and everything, I saw it was a thing where, like you mentioned at the beginning, everybody got love, everybody show love, which is nothing wrong with that because we building something new. And then it became, okay, this is the only particular thing I want to listen to. This is what I want to vibe with, which is fine. And then it became, it only has to be this way. Now we only want to hear these people from this side, and I think that damaged us, not just with the music but with the teachings. Everybody was listening to everybody when it came to the teachings, and everybody fed off of everybody. But now is, if it ain't coming from this side, then it's not. It can't be fruitful to us. I think that type of dynamic put us, now you tell me how you view the community as we progressing, but I think it's putting us in a spot where we are actually not doing as much work as we were doing. Like it's more people coming in, but it's less people seeing how great we can be together. Like me and you, we saw the connection. I went out there and kicked it with you. So we saw that the people wanted to build with each other at the beginning, but now it's more segregated, and I think it's more harmful. The more people that understood and wanted to be a part of groups was fine, but it came with a extreme divide. And what I've been pushing lately is telling everybody, okay, can anybody see this type of divide, and where do y'all think we're going to head moving forward? So I want to ask you the same question. Do you recognize the division? Because you may not be the same for everybody. And if you do, what you think the consequences is moving forward?
No, I definitely recognize the divide without a shadow of a doubt. I remember when we first started, there used to be a mixtape, and it was called, the mixtape was "Come Out of Her, My People." Remember that? We all was on
Oh
that back in the
yeah,
day. Come
yep,
Out of Her, My People mixtape series. I think there was like 3 or 4 series of that, and it didn't matter what camp you was from, what congregation you went to, or whatever. It was just all love. Everybody was able to be on that mixtape. You know, whether you was, even OT Brothers was on that mixtape. So it was like just all of us was just unifying together just for the sole purpose of the music. And there wasn't no tribalism involved, in the campism, congregationalism, none of that was even involved. So, but again, I think it comes with the expansion of the music. I think when, you know, we had more truth music artists, more people, more camps, more congregations, everybody kind of went off and splintered into their own ecosystems. Because that's another thing. Like, you know, it's one thing to where when we was first coming in, there's a handful, so it's like you don't have no choice but it's kind of like segregation. You know, during segregation, we ain't have no choice but to support each other, right? But
right,
when we became integrated, now, you know, it's like, I don't gotta support you. I'll just spend my money with these people instead.
right,
And it's just like that. It's like the bigger groups they became their own ecosystem. Like, they can support each other just off of the amount of people they got. They don't need the whole community. They can eat just off, or get love off of their own camp or community or ecosystem, right? So I think that was part of one of the expansion actually damaged some of the unity, for the way I could see it.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see exactly what you mean. And to point this out too, back in the day, we had a lot of, we had a enemy, so to speak. We had somebody we could pinpoint when it came to, like the command on trial and having these type of things that allow us to gather ourselves in that. I remember, man, in the prime of it, I had went out there. Some brothers flew me out there, man, and being in that midst. Everybody, they had their section where everybody kind of clicked off, but we were so unified in that. I mean, all the camps was there, and showing that we had a enemy, so to speak. And it really wasn't an enemy, but it was somebody who we can show who we had to click up against, right? And where is that same, or can we duplicate that type of energy without necessarily having to go against our brotherhood? Because they was our brothers, whether we like it or not. They was our blood brothers. So even if we can, do you see a way where we can kind of gather that same type of energy towards something that would allow us to gather and link up again like that? Like, do you see any type of energy that we can collectively and go against without, any type of physical altercations or any none of that type of stuff, but like the energy, the spiritual energy that we focused on when we was doing that? Do you see anybody else that would allow us to gather like that? Any type of scenario?
I do, and I definitely know what you mean. Because I was on the Hebrew War Machine group, that went against Kemet, and it was like everybody. I ain't never seen Israelites that united ever in my
Man,
life. So yeah, so that was a beautiful thing that I hope I get to see again. But I think in order to do that, just even with the Hebrew War Machine, there was once a foundation laid. Before it even got that big, there was just a handful of brothers in the group chat that was talking about this thing, that talking about going against Kemet, that it just grew and grew and grew. But there has to be a foundation first. I think if brothers with like minds got together and kind of use some of the tactics from old, like the mixtapes, more concerts, more gatherings together, I think those things will attract eyes. And I mean, because everybody want to be a part of that thing when it goes down. But
right,
it's just the people that have the vision to set the foundation need to click up and get on one mind and get a foundation of the thing going. That way everybody else can be the bricks on top of that foundation and raise the house.
right. And I agree with that 100%. And now this is the one thing about uh trying to do something, duplicate great things. Usually, like you talk about, friendships or marriages or even a job. You leave a job the wrong way, it's gonna be hard to get back in that job, no matter how you want to get back to that job. And I think we kind of split up. It was kind of like a hard breakup type of thing with the brotherhood. I think we went straight after we felt like we accomplished a lot, and the views and the attention was on us. Even I benefited from that, from that those battles and disputes with Komedo and Trial. I benefited a lot from that. All my stuff skyrocketed. Uh, uh, but we split up so hard, though, that the breakup was tough. I think we went straight to saying, okay, we did the best in this, or we was the ones that pushed this and made this popular, and then the divide came even stronger. How can we? What would have to happen? Like, even with a mixtape, you would have to. Well, I want to get your opinion on it, but what would have to happen to get uh, the brothers and sisters that's making a lot of noise now, and the brothers and sisters that were doing it pretty big, and the ones who was doing it and kind of felt and stopped doing it? Like, what would be the thing that will kind of gather them even to do a mixtape together? Just, hey, send one of me, send a song to me. What will have to happen for that to happen?
Yeah, I mean, we used to have a lot of think tanks back with those come out of her mixtapes. There was some strong brothers that were leaders back then that necessarily just I'm not going to say that they're not still leaders, but they're not leaders within this truth music industry anymore. So but I think just all it's going to take is a few brothers to come together and have this idea and put the vision to work. Now, I really believe that. I believe, and then if you could connect the right talents together, people that, let's keep it a real, people that other people want to hear from, the community wants to hear from. If you can gather those people together, which I know a lot of those brothers do have unifying minds. A lot of brothers that are popular in truth music have unifying minds. I don't think I think it's all about just reaching out. I think that's really as simple as it probably is, and saying what we want to do, getting the plan together, getting the artwork together to be able to promote it and market it right.
Right. So even with that, because what I be doing, like I said, what I've been doing recently is showing how we did have a more unified connection, but who will have to be like, of course, I heard what you said. People who are have to be. How do we even, like what I'm asking you is, if you could do it, if we all said, Dreno, let us know what we got to do this thing right. Let us know who we got to talk to. If you can name some brothers and sisters, because I get some brothers like Hezekiah. You got the brothers out there in Texas. It's a bunch of new brothers up there. What's his name? Big homie Yurt. We got some brothers making a lot of noise. They got a lot of bangers and have a lot of. They have that visual that's dynamic. But how can we bridge these gaps without sacrificing our quote unquote religious view? Because that's what it's becoming. Now we all became little religions inside the camps now. So how could that happen now without sacrificing our point of view and our namesake, so to speak? What type of table would have who had to sit at that table? Do the elders have to sit there, or should the community sit there? What I'm trying to really get to.
I mean, you just got to make the calls. Once you make the calls, I think that's what's going to determine who's going to be there. I really can't predict that to say who those people will be, but it's sheep hear his voice. The ones that are purposeful in that mission will step up to the plate for sure. Once it comes across their table, the Most High is going to make sure he's going to put that together. Unbeknownst to us at this level of the game. I really don't know who that would be, but I know once that call goes out, those people will answer that call for sure. For sure.
And I believe that. And I think that's what happened with us. I think that's how we even gathered and started doing things and building, because we heard something that was like, okay, yeah, that's a dope idea. So let's all get into that. Kofi, I see you in the chat. Nathan, shalom, brother. Yeah, like and share, please. Peace and blessings. What's your name, sis? Yanika? Yanika? Blessings to you, sis. Hey, Kofi, I sent you the link. If you on your messenger on Facebook, you can jump in whenever you're ready. But yeah. So okay, I had a debate too on another channel, and these brothers and sisters was trying to make the point where we should have more people in politics, like how it's a grand table, of course, with the UN and all these other countries. Should it be a more I will say, I don't want to say it ain't just as important as that, but a smaller table. Like, should we have somebody to represent us as a whole, like the Muslim brothers do, or what they call the 4%ers, 1%ers? Forget what they call themselves. Or like the Moors, or you got the Black Panthers. Should we have some representation? And if so, who, how, and how should that look? Should it be somebody we should elect to come to sit at these tables and talk on the behalf of us, or should it be more of a more people collectively kind of pushing for our identity to be, more on them tables and recognized? Because there's a lot of BS when it comes to Israelite community. So we need somebody or us to dispel all this, the BS in between. Well, how you feel about that?
I think it definitely should be a collective, and if there was a mouthpiece, like an Aaron, right? Then let him speak. But I think he should speak on the behalf of a council. I think Israel does better when there technically isn't just a King David type of leader. Like, honestly, it's sad to say, but we just can't appoint that. We literally got to be the Most High, and then a council of what was Zechariah, like the governors of Judah or the governors of Israel, right? It's a collective, it's a council, it's a council of brothers or even sisters that have input. But the mouthpiece to definitely like probably be just like a designated person that you're just articulate. You're an articulate person that can speak well. This is the subject matter that we've come up with as a collective, and there should be representation maybe like that. I think we work better in that capacity, other than just one person deciding everything. I mean, because honestly, I mean it is like pulling teeth trying to get us to unify on that type of front. And I think the biggest thing with us unifying is brothers and sisters having to put their doctrines to the side. I think you have to put your doctrine to the side in order to unify. There's like, I know that might sound crazy to a lot of people, but there's no way that I should fall out with my brother because of my doctrine, because it defeats the purpose of doctrine.
Right.
Doctrine is supposed to come down to love. Now, if it doesn't come down to that, then it's all for vanity.
Yeah.
It's all for vanity. So, which means if I fall out with my brother over doctrine, then it's vanity then.
Right.
And my heart was never really in this thing.
Agreed. So yeah, and what a neutral party. It was a brother who he had a camp. He had a gathering. I don't know if he was a camp, so to speak. How we view camps now, but he had a gathering. His name was Yerushalayim. I think he had like stopped and just jumped off the map. I think collectively we all watched him. I don't think there was nobody who had a problem with his teachings. I don't think nobody who didn't enjoy his work. See, a brother like that, he could have been a neutral type of brother. Just want to name some people. Him. I think Divine Prospect. Who else could have been? Because what I'm getting to is I don't think we probably should have the elders do it, because they have their own councils and stuff they have to deal with. But I think the elders should be the ones to pick who we truly want to present these brothers to really help and us. We don't really have no representation outside of individualism, like you mentioned. And having brothers like that to bring to the elders, say, we gotta have somebody represent us on a major platform. And because they're looking at us, we've been on these major platforms, so we need somebody to show the people who we are and what we really are doing, even though this thing is the one thing that's going to consume the earth. What we truly believe in, that's what we truly believe in. But brothers like that, I think should have been pushed more. I don't want you to get into it if you don't want to, because I did name some names, but I think we all had some type of unifying presence around brothers like them. And do you see brothers? Go ahead.
I would say I rock with just on that point. I rock with brother Divine Prospect for sure. That's my
Indeed.
I mean, I can't. I mean, like you said, brother Yasharalem, he on something. He's not on the same mind as we are anymore. Right. So that's just unfortunate. But but definitely the Divine Prospect, man, is somebody that I respected in the community for a long time.
Definitely, and I think outside of brothers like him, we lost a lot of brothers who had that type of presence, and when it comes down to it, the pickings is slim. So, and the only reason I'm mentioning is because when I look at these, tables everybody's sitting at, when I look at these communities outside of us, everybody has some representation where they can go to and sit in front of CNN or sit in front of some news station and say, nah, this is who we are, and this is what we represent. This is a real community. And then we can get certain type of structural things that allow us to build. Even the Muslims, I mean not the Muslims, but the Amish, they sit at these tables and they have structural things. And from what I'm learning, they don't always like each other, but they have this unifying thing saying, okay, let's build a house. And then what we do in that house, we're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with it amongst each other. I think we have yet to build a house and say, let's do our business, whatever disagreements we got, we're going to do that in the house. So, yeah, that's why I'm mentioning these brothers, like who could help sit up there and say, this is the house we want to represent, and this is what comes with it. And indoors, we'll handle it. Y'all just, this is who we are, because we don't want y'all to treat us no way, because we still going through these curses. We still going through all these things, but we need somebody who sit out there. So, let me give you an example. Like what happened to the brother, well, his incident was a little different, but like these cop killers are still going on. If we had some people to show up that ain't Al Sharpton and the other guys, we need somebody to represent us, a face that say, no, y'all are messing with Israel, the Israelite community, and this is more than just a hate crime now, because we have structure. We are structured people. And this is what the rules and regulations are that we brought to the table that we all agreed on. So now your attacks on us is coming with a bigger consequence. So you know what I'm saying? So it's brothers and sisters who get attacked. Brothers be wearing fringes, getting abused by cops. We see it all the time. But there's nobody to sit there and say, okay, oh boy, about to come now. He about to set some stuff up. The precinct about to be in trouble. The township, the mayor, everybody about to be in trouble. Because when the Muslim brothers have to do that, they can do that. Black Panthers, they can do that. The Moorish people, they can do that. They at least can have a voice. So that's my whole point behind that. But yeah, what you got to say about that?
My, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, brother Benea Israel from Rebirth was setting something like that up after what happened to Ron Dalton and that whole Amazon thing. I think that sparked some brothers up and rose that spirit up in some brothers. And last I heard, it's been some months since I heard anything about it, but last I heard they were trying to raise something like, what's that? The Yiddish man got the LS, the I, what is it called? It's an acronym, ALSAU or something like that. I'm saying that, so I'm messing that up. But they have that representation, right? They were one of the ones that hopped on Ron Dalton's back when he when Kyrie and that whole thing popped off. So I did hear B'nai Israel doing something of that sort, and I think if brothers already had that spirit in them, I think the community should support that in any way that they possibly can support it, and I think that's definitely the way to go. The brothers that have the spirit that the Most High raised up within them to bring these things forth, I think we need to be shifting our support, no matter whether we rock with their doctrine or not. And that's really what it's going to come down to, being able to cross those lines, just for the sake of the community itself. There's more things at stake than than the things that we think are important. I think the most thing important is the community.
Exactly.
If we don't have the community, there is no doubt. So and part of that community isn't limited to the United States. That's another thing that we need to step outside and think. As I know you mentioned Africa,
Right.
You know, and there's brothers over there. You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
brothers and sisters over on the continent.
Yeah.
There's brothers in the UK. This thing has spread. When we were talking about that expansion earlier, that expansion is international. So I think there has to be some representation from each continent as well, not just like thinking about the United States, because within that connections comes financial opportunity as well. Because that's another thing that we need to start thinking about. We need to start thinking about building how we going to build communities with no money. I think we need to start having a financial mind, at least something to give an inheritance to the next generation, at least build it so that the next generation could take it like industries. I'm talking about industries, like we got brothers over in other
Right.
continents that can get things. There's ways to import export. This is probably what we need to be thinking about. Having that's some of the things that I've
Exactly.
been trying to brainstorm about. How could we import product from, say, Africa to the United States to turn a profit and build an industry, build something sustainable that could sustain whole communities, plural. Not just like just nothing against mom and pop shops, but something bigger than that, like something that can actually be a heavyweight, and have a real impact economically.
Exactly. And that's why I had some brothers and a sister that supposed to come on today and talk more about it. One brother is from Africa, and I got and two of them and another brother and sister went to Africa. So I wanted them to come on too, because what you're saying goes ties in right into that. And I want to go ahead and mention I was going to have y'all sit together and talk about it, but I'm just asking you the questions: how and why? Because me, this is what I see when it comes to Africa. Brothers do not like Africa. Why do you think they don't? What is the idea behind not really truly dealing with Africa?
It was that's one of them. Just one of them. I don't even know how I want to word this. One of them things in the community that we was taught early. Like, it was one of them things that when you fresh in the truth, you was just taught, oh, you ain't a Hamite, you ain't an African, right? And there was some truth to that. So I
Right.
think, being that new, and that's one of the things to me that if you're, just came in the truth, then you might have that ideology. But as you study, as you educate yourself, you will see that, and when you study the migration patterns, and you study that there's different tribes in Africa, you study, that there was tribes that never even came into any type of slavery that are still over there. There's more Israelites in the continent of Africa than there is quote unquote Israelis, Yiddish in Israel. So I mean,
Exactly.
when you're studied in that capacity, then you could start to turn a new leaf and start to be like, oh, okay, well, our brothers and sisters are on the continent, still on the continent. Like you said, whether they was born on the continent or they moved over there, they over there. They've been
They over
over
there.
there for thousands of years, and have the history and the traditions to prove it. I mean, there's still
Exactly.
brothers with the Ga'a people in Ghana, over 2 million strong, still do the Passover with the goat's blood. The ones that are so poor that they don't have the goat's blood, yeah, they use the dirt from the ground to put on their doorpost.
Mm.
But it just shows that these things are over there, and they're over there strong. And I think it's just a miseducation, that festers that kind of hate.
Yeah, yeah. I was on a show on a TikTok yesterday with the brother Kofi and a guy over there. He came over here, been over 10 years. I think he came from Nigeria. I forget where he said he came from, but he was saying that he brought up the info about Marcus Garvey when he came over here. We know Marcus Garvey was one of the commandment keepers. So the information from what I've been studying, it came from Africa. So all of our inheritance and our info came from Africa over here. From the understanding I got, of course, it was some people that came over with artifacts and stuff. But during that time of total desolation, it was a man. He got he was rich. He was building ships, and he came with the info to get Israel to even come back. So yes, so a lot of our brothers and sisters out there have a lot of traditions, way stronger, way more powerful than what we got over here. We think we great because we the face of it. But being the face don't necessarily mean you're the greatest. When you run a business, the face, the guy who everybody talks about, don't have all the info. And even when you deal with scripture and say a man has to have counsel with, we don't deal with each other like that over here. Over there, I think they're more structured, and I'm not totally sure on namesake wise of who is what over a lot of Ethiopian brothers is over there, and they got churches still from I don't even know how they say these churches is 2,000 years old. Ancient churches that they still holding garbs. They still got their garbs on. They still keeping the holy days. So it's a lot of tradition over there, and we keep ignoring that. It's one thing to talk about who we're not. That's fine, but can we talk about who we are over there? Because we have to understand. That's what I've been doing for years. But I remember a couple years back, I used to just keep bombarding it. I said we keep talking about Africa. Africa as a whole. That's a continent. You can't talk about America as a whole and forget the cities and forget the towns and forget the community. You can't do that and just say everybody in America is this. So we saying a whole continent that has countries in it. Countries, not just cities and towns, but countries in it. And I think that's the whole our biggest point is we don't grasp. It was really hard to grasp for us to grasp the dynamics when we say Africa. We done made Africa this big ball of dung. That's the only thing we picture is a bunch of nothingness. When it comes to Africa, Africa is the hub of the earth. But we like the only community that does that. And like you say, it was taught to us at the beginning. And I think that hurt us a lot now, especially now, because this will be a great time because there's a lot of countries over in Africa telling us we can get land, we can do this, we can do that. They want to invite us back. Now I'm not sure on the credentials on how that's going to take place, but the idea is still there. It's a lot of brotherhood over there, and they want us back. So yeah, I'm with you. It was the first things that we learned was to say you a filthy African. And that's just without some brothers can't even name a country in Africa. Just you a filthy African. Can't do nothing outside of generalizing a whole continent of people. So yeah, like I say, I had the brothers and sisters coming on, but I ain't gonna hold you too long. I remember you saying you getting prepared for something. Let me know how much time you got left.
Yeah, I got a little bit. I did want to help out. I know they like, man, we're Dreno, but nah.
Right.
Definitely feel that sentiment, man. Especially definitely with Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of them places that was never really truly colonized, right? You could say Mussolini for those 5 years, but um, Haile Selassie, kicked them out within 5 years, right back. It wasn't like they spent an extensive amount of time colonized. There's a lot of culture over there. Like you mentioned, the Temple of Lalibela is over there, carved out of a mountain. An incredible
Exactly.
church structure that they got. And Haile Selassie is an interesting figure in itself. A king that believed in scriptures, that ruled his kingdom with the scriptures. You know what I mean? Like I've never still seen that to this day. Anybody that reverenced the scriptures like Haile Selassie in the rule of leadership, right? That ruled his country by those principles, truly. And I just think he gets a bad rap because of the worship around him. But that's a whole nother conversation, I guess. But yeah, man, all people was over there, man, and it's unfortunate that you know just the we do ourselves a disservice when we don't educate ourselves on those things.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it just it's just unfortunate how this is going. Like I say, the community is growing crazy. Like, I mean, we got people. I don't know if you heard about Julio Fulio. He died, but on one of his shows, he was like, "Yeah, I'm an Israelite." You see this type of representation we got? Like, you know, these are killers who promote death, saying that they're Israelites. Our representation is crazy, man. And that's why, you know, I mention these things. But I ain't gonna hold you too long, man. I appreciate you for coming on. You said you got some new projects coming out. You drop that info again so we can stay locked in with you.
Oh, no doubt. We'll have some. I'll have some music out, man. By the end of the summer, my son got some music coming out. I can't wait. I'm excited for that, for real, man. My son got some truth music coming out too. But yeah, by the end of the summer, man, we'll definitely be tapped in with some new music.
All right, no doubt, man. Whenever you're ready to come back on, like I say, I ain't gonna hold you. I started a little late. Things ain't going right. Microphone, all that other stuff. But yeah, great talking to you, bro, man. It's crazy we only met up one time, and I think that's ridiculous. We got that far. It was an hour drive, bro. But anyway, that's either here or there, man. We gonna find a way. Tell the brotherhood I said shalom, man. I pray everything well with y'all. I pray everything goes smooth. And blessings to you, brother.
Thanks for having me on, bro. Much love always, bro, for sure. You already know.
All praises. Shalom to you.
All praises. Shalom, shalom, man.
That was the brother Dren. Look. Brothers like that, man, who came into the community, who was in the community when I came in, those brothers, they hard to find. These are 100% solid brothers. You ain't gonna find these type of brothers, man. You ain't gonna find them without you being. You gotta be solid to find a brother like that. Now listen, I'm a solid brother myself. So when solid people link in, you praise the Most High, because it's hard to find good people just in general in life. You can't trust a person to, hey, could you go grab some of my car? I'm busy. You hope he like that. I hope I didn't leave my wallet or nothing in there. So it's just people you can't trust, man. And it's becoming, the more people that's gathering under the Most High, it's going to get harder, because many people are called, few are chosen, and that keeps me balanced in this. Somebody said checks and balances. When I saw that, it made a lot of sense. Oh, that's the sister. What you said down there? What are the different type of branches? Please. Yeah, exactly. We got all these people with all these gifts, and nobody said. I know a brother who came out here to Ohio. I forget where he's from. Was it down south? He came up here. Him and his wife are lawyers. They took the bar. They did all that. We saw the whole process. They are lawyers. Are they being highlighted in the community? Because everybody needs lawyers. So we have everybody with all the abilities to be a unified structure. When it comes to the Jewish community, they got a bunch of lawyers. They got a bunch of people who know the law. They got a bunch of ways to overcome things, right? We have those same people with those same ability, but we don't highlight them. We're not funding them. We're not supporting them. But we want to support people who want to just yell out that we know what we know. That's not important no more. What's important is lawyers and doctors and people who know how to do medicine, people who know how to do agriculture, people who know how to build. We need carpenters, teachers. These are the people that we need to deal with. Let me tell you something about this. You know why that won't happen? Because that eliminates a lot of people who think they're important. Is a person who can read, who can precept 10 precepts back to back by memory more important than somebody who can heal you with a herb? I'm going to ask y'all a question. Is a brother who can run down 10 precepts back to back more important than a brother who can heal cancer with herbs? Let me answer it for you. No, he's nothing. He will become nothing And that's the point. That's why we can't build. Because the people who are something really don't have no gifts. They just was the first ones or the loudest ones. But they don't have no gift of healing. They don't have no gift of spiritual guidance. They just keep talking and make the people under them regurgitate them. So it makes them seem smarter. Oh yeah, we got this from this person, and we got that from that person. But he ain't healing you when you get cancer. He ain't sending your money either when your lights go off. A single mother with 5 kids, so what? She in the congregation, right? She serving the Most High, right? When you call her, she there. Her license got cut off. The job won't give her no extra hours, and she can't find a babysitter. Can we give her $400? We can get her light bill straight. No, we can't do that. She need to find a husband. Where's the husbandry identity? We become her husband when we tell her to listen to us and follow us, and your kids follow us. When you become a father to the fatherless, you are her husband now. In that sense of taking care of this community. Now you got to take care of her bills. Because she coming out every Shabbat, she coming out every holy day, she's spending food stamp money to help cook for the congregation. She's sitting there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. help serving. Kids mad as ever because mommy ain't doing the things that she usually do today, and we can't pay her light bill now. Why is that? What'd you say, sis? Why we don't have daycares? I mean, really? You see that? You see how simple this is? Hey, we got a community full of single women. You know what? Instead of us trying to bang these sisters, we ain't got to just sleep with all these sisters. Let's get a community together. Let's get our community together and talk about how we can help these sisters in their fields. Some of these sisters working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. She need babysitters. So the sisters who are not working, who have husbands and have time, we gonna make a way where we can find some time to allow and pay y'all to babysit and nurture these people, these sisters' kids, or these sisters' kids. How hard is that? You want everything from them. You want everything from them. That's why the sisters are having the biggest problem in these communities. There's nobody there. They made some mistakes. Okay. We all did. But you know, when we make a mistake, we can run from it. They can't necessarily run from their mistakes. It looks terrible. it don't look that bad on us. But it looks terrible when a sister runs from her mistakes. So now we gotta pick up the slack now. We want her, we begging her to come to the Shabbat. Says come to class. We got these precepts. Kids bad as hell because they know daddy running knock them upside their head. And that's all they need. Knock them upside their head, heal their wounds, show them the right way. But do we even promote that? Has anybody even said that? Did the conversation even start? The building blocks of this is so crazy, man. This building is made out of jello. It's made out of jello. And we think we sturdy. We stomping in this jello building. The building is rocking. It's about to fall apart. But we proud in it. Nobody can heal nothing. The one brother who can heal, y'all telling him, oh no, you got to go through these trials and these classes. You got to go through this year period of class until we give you a jersey before you can think you anybody. Hey, but my grandfather showed me how to mash these certain plants together, and it can heal certain. It can take care of certain mucus. It can take care of your hearing, your eyesight. It can make your hair grow too. It can help you lose weight. I mean, he got the herbs. He know how to do it. He's been doing it. His family been doing it. But he can't be even talked about until he got a year of precepts in his body. And then that ain't his gift, so he never gonna be good at it. So he always gonna be a student. He always gonna be a reader. He's not gonna never be nothing because he can't do that. That's not who he is. He don't even want to do it. He don't have the zeal to do that, and he's not good at it. But he's great at healing. He know the herbs. Somebody done called him a witch because he like to mash up the herbs and put it in his tea and be healthy. He the strongest, more healthy looking brother, and everybody don't nobody think he nothing because all he know how to do is heal his body and heal other people's bodies. He don't know no precepts. He don't know no precepts. He don't even know the basics. So he can't be highlighted. No. When he's the one that need to be highlighted. Everybody, you think you somebody, you don't know nothing. If you put the book down and say, what is your gift? You don't have one. And that's okay. But the people with the gifts got to be highlighted. You want to be a teacher? All right, you be a teacher. But you're not about to be a teacher over the people with the gifts. You need to start teaching kids only. The people with the gifts need to be highlighted and funded. We don't care about your precepts, man. You said the same thing the dude who was sitting in this chair before you. So you didn't come up with it. It ain't like you sat back and the Most High gave you understanding to come up with these. So it's just school. It's just public school. Read, recite, rehearse. Can we do something different now? You come home, she rolling out. Soon as you step in the door, oh, here goes this wannabe. You can't even get your house in order, but you a man amongst men. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm talking to you. You don't have no talent, no gift. You're just a reader. You're just a regurgitator. Precept upon precept, you have no influence. You got to sit in the back. We send the Taz, man. The Taz is tearing it up because the Wheats is weak. All right, y'all. I had guests on today, man. I wish they could have came on, but we're gonna try to get them on next week. So we're gonna do Africa Part 2, so it can be identified. You know, I be messing up these episodes too. I think this is episode 32. I don't know. Y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. All right. So I gotta put this stuff in here. If you want to donate, here's the donate button. You want to send some gifts, some alms to the boy family, you can do it here. If you want to sign up to get free music on our Patreon, because when I drop music, people on Patreon get it for free. Free downloads if you sign up for $4 a month. That's all that is. So you can get free music on Patreon. I'm gonna drop that link too. But we really gotta start just talking about this more. The more we talk about it, the more it stick. And I can't be the only one talking about this. I can't be the only one talking about this. I mean, if you're not gonna talk about it, at least share it. Share this. I tell them from the video. But we all gotta talk more. We all can't sit here and act like these people listen to are the greatest of our nation. Y'all regurgitate. Y'all don't even come up with something new. Let me hear something organic. Because you sound the same as everybody else. What do we call that? Is that nation building? It can't be nation building. It can't be nation building. I think we have some technical difficulties. We still here? Yeah, I think it messed up pretty bad on my end. All right, so yeah, putting these links in and everything just going haywire. But yeah, let's keep these conversations going. Share the video, like the video. The Patreon link down there if you want to join Patreon for $4 a month. You get all the music I done put out for free. And then if you want to donate to the family, it's Cash Out John Boy. I put the link in there. Let's keep these conversations going. I mean, somebody got to say it. I've been saying it for years. I'm taking the heat. I'm taking the heat for it, but I'm going to keep saying it. Dreno, all praise, all praise. Appreciate you, bro, for coming on, man. Whenever you're free, you're welcome. You're welcome to the Boycast anytime, man. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Blessings. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Boycast. I pray everybody doing well enough to do well enough. Shalom. See y'all next week. Thursday, 9 p.m. Shop. Oh, you know what? Almost forgot. Almost forgot something. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get it. Some of y'all may not know this. Let's see. All right. We're going to get it real quick. Oh, hold on. There we go. All right, so we're going to run this down real quick, and then we're going to close out the show. Okay. All right, so Benjamin Banneker. I know y'all heard the name, the creator of the Almanac. Black man Benjamin Banneker, born in November 9th, 1731, passed away October 1806. He created the Almanac. The definition of an almanac, an annual calendar containing important dates and statistical information such as astronomical data and tides tables. Yeah, a brother. Yeah. We great. We're going to continue to be great. But we got to get greater. We got to get greater, though, right? We got to start having these conversations, right? So let's start it. Let's start these conversations and never stop talking about it. Let's never stop talking about it. All right, blessings everybody. We should be back next week with some more guests. Africa Part 2. This was supposed to been. This is gonna be a. This is. Dreno had to leave. I started late. That's on me. But next show, hopefully we can get the brother back on with some more people and we can talk about Africa. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end it out. Shalom, blessings. See y'all next Thursday.